Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So first of all, I'd like to wish everybody a... Excuse me, I am going to cough a little bit, I have still got my cough. I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And whilst there will be more videos for Premium and Pro members between now and New Year, just want to make sure I remember to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So the ratings will be available for Pro members now and for Premium members at 1 minute past midnight tonight. So as soon as we move into Christmas Day, they become available for you guys, for Premium members. But you can see some of the races now. I am going to show you the ratings for those, because I'm going to talk about them. Starting off looking at the 12:45 at Kempton, the first race of the day at Kempton. And the horse that I like here, if you remember from my email, is Secret de Dieu. This horse here, second one down. The reason for that is, over fences, the horse has been pretty good. Won at Fakenham, pretty comfortably, off a mark of 113. Granted, surely should be expected to win off 113. Sorry was winning off 116. And then went up £5 for that. And then finished a very good third. Now, I think it was a very, very good third. Beaten by Mambo number 5, who at the time was winning at Newbury. If you remember, I liked him from Aintree, said he was very impressive at Aintree, would go and win again. He did at Newbury. I think he can win again off his mark of 140. And Mighty Bandit, who was second that day, has since come out and won as well at Newbury. Franking that form, he's now gone up to a mark of 133, was running that day off 127. Secret de Dieu, who was third, has only gone up £1, up to a mark of 122. I think the step up and triple really suit. If you watch his effort at Newbury, staying on all the way to the line, he has won before over 2.5, or over 2 mile 3 at least. Has even contested a listed hurdle race over 2 mile 3. He contested the Sydney Banks last year, beaten by some decent horses, Calafay and Vol, no questions asked, Jacks Jr. Nothing wrong with his effort there. This doesn't, in my opinion, look anywhere near as deep as that race. And to be honest, I think the two that beat him over fences were very, very progressive. He's got to bump into something very, very progressive here, in my opinion, if he's going to get beat. I don't think he will, to be fair. And if we load up the odds, now we always load them up live rather than quoting odds that are not available. Let's have a look at this horse. Was available at 12s on Monday when I highlighted this horse. He is now currently at 9s. I still don't think that's a bad price, to be fair. I agree Noble Park is the big danger. And his form last time out when he beat Van der Poel, who's come out and won, was a very good effort. I think Secret de Dieu's effort behind Mighty Bandit and behind Mambo number 5 was just as good, in my opinion. And I don't think there's going to be a lot between them at the finish. The step up and triple definitely suit. He's only a 5-year-old. I think there's plenty more to come from Secret de Dieu. And he is my selection in the first race at Kempton. We then move on to the 120 at Kempton, which is the Grade 1 Calto Stars Novices Chase, the over 3 mile. And the horse I like here is Salva. I thought the step up and trip last time out for Salva was an unknown. But it was very, very impressive what he did. Comfortably beat Doyen Quest, comfortably beat Lawrence Bay and Quebecois. I think they were good horses. And he's absolutely walloped them. That 3 miles step, the step up to 3 mile, looked like it really, really suited. Even, to be fair, when he was second behind Blue King Daru, I thought he looked like he wanted a bit further. The position he came from, the effort he made up to close down Blue King Daru, that cost him the win, in my opinion. If he'd been a bit closer, he would have beaten Blue King Daru. They both beat Kitzbühel. I don't see any reason why Kitzbühel reverses that form, to be fair. And I think the 3 mile trip is exactly what Salva needs. And I'd be really hopeful of a big run here. I think this horse should be... I kind of feel that they've got the betting a bit wrong here. I would have Blue King Daru shorter. I would have Salva probably as favourite. And then I'd have Kitzbühel. And the reason for that is obviously the reason Kitsborough is favourites is Willie Mullins, Paul Townend. That gets overbet and overbacked, and the connections just make it favourite. It shouldn't be favourite in my opinion. I think Salva should be favourite, and I thought that effort, as I said at Newbury last time out, was a very, very good effort, and totally deserves to run in this race. We move on to the 2:30 at Kempton, the last race at Kempton that I'm interested in, which is the King George. So normally I look at the handicaps, and it's not really the handicaps that caught my eye this time. The two graded races definitely have. For me, this is out of two horses, Gaelic Warrior and Factor File. I don't rate the Jukebox Man. I know it was a good win last time, but he was only beating Iroko. When he won at Kempton, he was only beating Highland. Highland is a handicapper, Iroko is a handicapper, and he's only beaten Massacio and Johnny Who the time before that in the John Frankham at Newbury. They're both handicappers. These Gaelic Warrior and Factor File are not handicappers. They're not even novice chasers. They are been there, done it, got the t-shirt, grade 1 chasers, and they are the two to focus on here. Django Bay, similar sort of story. He's come from what I believe are novice events, even beating Gidley Park last time out, Pictory, Master Chewy, and an out-of-form Ile Francais. That's not top-class grade 1 form for me. He's got to really step up here. When he's arguably taken on grade 1 horses, one of them being Impere Pass, he got beat. For me, that's not good enough form. He got beat by handstands. He's been beaten by Katira over hurdles, beaten by Personal Ambition over hurdles. That, for me, isn't grade 1 form. Factor File, I feel, has proper grade 1 form, and I think Gaelic Warrior has proper grade 1 form. The trip is the only concern, in my opinion, for my selection, but it is at Kempton. I like Factor File. I think he's going to reverse that form with Gaelic Warrior. If this was over 2.5 at Newbury, I'd be just as keen on Factor File. This is over 3 mile at Kempton, which means it's an easy 3 mile. Now, Gaelic Warrior was given the optimum ride last time out by Paul Townend. Factor File was ridden there gave the leader too much rope basically, and when he made his effort to close on Gaelic Warrior was able to get the breather in, and that just meant Gaelic Warrior had that tiny bit left at the finish. He'll be much closer on Boxing Day, Factor File. Mark Walsh will not be letting Gaelic Warrior get that far clear. When he doesn't, and when he then makes his move, he'll be making his move into the lead and going 2-3 lengths clear. And I don't think the others will be anywhere near him. I think Django Bay and the Jukebox Man will be left behind. In my opinion, it definitely demonstrates that last year was a weak King George, doesn't it? The winner you can back at 16s, and the runner-up is 20-1. And if you look at the race, L'Empresse, the Real Wacker, Spillane's Tower, Corbett's Cross, they weren't good enough last year, were they, in this race, the King George? It's a much better King George this year. We look at the prices. Gaelic Warrior is favourite, Factor File is second favourite. I think Django Bay is too short. I do like Factor File here. I think he's going to take all of the beating because I think he's going to be ridden to try and win the race this time, rather than we think we can out-sprint Gaelic Warrior. This time they'll be right on his shoulder and then out-sprint him. So that's my selection in the King George. We then move to Aintree for the 140. And I like a horse that I think is overpriced in this race. I think I need to show you the betting first for this one. It is the 140. And the horse I like here is Florida Dreams. Now, I actually like Supremely West as a horse. I think he could be aimed at the Temps final still. He has qualified. But the Skeletons have come out and said that they think he's too high in the handicap. I think that's rubbish, but I think they know that. And they're going to get him dropped in the handicap before returning to the Temps final and then suddenly running a much better race. The same owners also have Florida Dreams in the race, and if you look at his price, 6 is 11-2. 11-2 is available. He actually ran in this race last year. He went off the 2-1 favourite for this race last year, and he finished 5th. A decent 5th. The horse who finished not that far in front of him actually went on to finish 2nd in the Martin Pipe. It was a race where we couldn't see anything because of the fog, and I feel like there was a few performances on that day that were moderate for horses that actually they were able to cover them up, sort of thing. This will be I think it'll be much closer. I think we will see a lot more of it as well. And it wouldn't even surprise me too much if their other horse, the owner's other horse, Mr. Fifes, Supremely West, set the pace for him and allowed him to track him and then finish strongly and go through and hopefully win the race. I don't think his efforts this season have been that bad. Second to Hartington at Carlisle and in front of Xiao. Well, Hartington has come out and finished second in the Betfair Stayers handicap hurdle. Very good effort. Whilst the third horse came out and finished second to Nurse Susan at Cheltenham. I think that was a very good effort. I thought Nurse Susan before that race was very well handicapped. That was a perfectly good effort then from Florida Dreams. And then last time out, finished third behind Cabral de Matan, who was clearly thrown in, and Andershan, when given far too much to do over a trip that was probably too short. If he'd been ridden a little bit closer, he probably would have finished second and been beaten by a ridiculously well handicapped horse. Back at Aintree, we know he's obviously at least won a race here. He's coming back for a race that last season he went off just 2-1. This year he can get 11-2 for a horse running off the same mark. I think they got the prices wrong there. Moving on to Leopardstown, the 255 at Leopardstown, a massive handicap, 22 runners. I love this race. I think I've got a selection in it. Well, I do have a selection in it. I've got one that I like here at a big price. That horse is down here being backed now. 18s is gone, 14s is available. The Folks Tiara with Dylan Whelan taking £7 off. Do you know he ran in this race last year? Finished second off a mark of 131 with Ethan O'Sullivan taking 7 off. So he was effectively running off 124. This year he runs off 127. Dylan takes 7 off. He's effectively running off a £4 lower mark. He was beaten a short head last year. Instantly you've got to give him a chance. The year before he actually ran in this race off a mark of 124 under Rachel Blackmore, went off 11-2 and won it. So the last 2 years he's gone off 6s and 11-2 off similar marks, actually higher marks, and finished first and second. He looks overpriced, doesn't he? Go back the year before, he ran in a handicap. I think it was this race at Leopardstown. It just wasn't a feature handicap at that time. He finished second behind Final Orders off a mark of 116. You go, well, he got beat there. Yeah, but he got beat by Final Orders. Final Orders that day was winning it off a mark of 129. He ended up rated 150. Just trying to find out how many runs after. He went to Leopardstown afterwards and won again off a mark of 140 and was then rated 150. So the winner that day was running off 129 and ended up being rated £21 higher just 2 runs later. The Folks Tiara is still £11 higher, but perfectly entitled to have finished second to Final Orders that day. So his last 3 runs at Leopardstown on the 26th of December, he's finished second, first, second. He's off a similar mark. Big price he was. He was available at 25s when we highlighted him on Monday. He's now shorter, and as I said, he's gone off, as the prices he's gone off the last 3 years. 5-1, 11-2, 6-1. You make him 7s or 8s then at most because he's now 9. You don't make him 14s, 16s, 18s, 20s, 25s that he was. Folks Tiara is my selection in the 255 at Leopardstown. We move on. Then we go to Wincanton. Now this is a horse that I really like. Clotilda bore the Nichols. And interestingly, Paul Nicholls has come out and said that he thinks this is one of his best chances of the day. Completely agree. And the reason for that is she made her chase debut last time out. And that's where we want to look at. I need to show you this. Finished second as a 4-year-old over fences, beaten a length. Good performance. Who did she get beat by? Let's have a look. She got beat by Good Friday Fairy, who was our top-rated horse, clear top-rated. Picked 10 times in the nap competition, was my next best of the day. Everything was right for Good Friday Fairy. And Clotilda's ran her to her length when probably being asked to do too much closing down. Good Friday Fairy made most of the running, I think made all of the running. Clotilda was the only one who got close enough late on. That was her first run over fences. She's gone up £2 for that. But Freddie takes 7 off. We know Freddie's actually a very good jockey. He shouldn't be allowed to claim 7. He does because he's not had enough winners yet. He won't be claiming 7 for long. He won't be claiming for long. He'll go through his claim very, very quickly. So effectively, the horse is actually running off a £5 lower mark than when beaten by a very well handicapped Good Friday Fairy. I think she's got every chance here, Clotilda, at Wincanton in the 12.53. Let's have a look at the prices. So many races, isn't there? 12.53. She is available at 11 to 4. No, she's available at 3s. Ignore the 16 to 5. It's an outlier. Available at 3s. I think she'll go off nearly favourite. And I think she's going to take all of the beating there. 2 more horses I wanted to talk about. At Aintree, My Daddy Paddy should take all of the beating. And at Leopardstown, Romeo Coolio should also take all of the beating. If you want to put them in a double, you can do. It's not really the type of bet I like to do, but I think both of them are going to win, aren't they? I really like both of those. I hope Dan Skelton has a Supreme Novice horse with My Daddy Paddy. I really want that one to win. I'm a massive fan of the Skeltons. Massive supporters of those as well. Don't mind what they do with their horses. I think the Skeltons just want to have winners. They're not interested in the attention. They're not interested in the they don't make silly tweets on Twitter like some trainers do. They don't talk, they don't even go mental when they're watching the racing like some trainers do because they know they're going to be on TV. The Skeltons just stand there, especially Dan. He just stands there and watches. And if it crosses the line in the lead, he's pleased. And if it crosses the line in second, he's gutted because they don't want seconds. So I really hope My Daddy Paddy does prove to be a good Supreme Novice horse for them. And Romeo Coolio for Gordon Elliott, I think he's a very, very good horse. So yeah, they are my selections for Boxing Day. Secret de Dieu at Kempton in the 12.45. I think he's nicely handicapped. He's only a 5-year-old. That form last time I think is very, very strong. Salva, I thought the 3 mile effort last time out was very good. Much improved over that 3 mile trip. Interestingly, probably some of his best runs, 2 miles 3 at Fontwell, but his best run was over at Sandown. It was actually the best run in the whole field. Totally justified. I think he should be favourite. 2.30, Factor File will not be giving Gaelic Warrior as big a lead this time. He will sit behind and hopefully kick on past. I actually think they're a step ahead of the rest. I think they're a class above. Aintree, Florida Dreams went off just 2s, 2 to 1 for this last year. Runs off the same mark. Wouldn't surprise me if they win this race at the Fifes and have Supremely West massively disappoint, so he can drop £2 or £3 with the Temps final in mind. The Folks Tiara 1-2-1-2 on the 26th of December at Leopardstown over 2 mile 1. Massive price of 14s, I think. Clotilda bumped into one last time out in the Mayor's Handicap Chase at Wincanton. I think she bumped into one in Good Friday Fairy. And I think both of My Daddy Paddy and Romeo Coolio are going to win their races. Fingers crossed for a good day. I do have some more selections, as you know, for the 27th. We'll be back with those on tomorrow. I will release that on Christmas Day. I'll do another video on Christmas Day and release it to all of our members. Thanks for listening once again and have a Merry Christmas.